When I was 13 years old, I weighed just about 250 pounds, and I was the biggest kid out of all my classmates. And actually, I was the biggest kid out of my whole entire school. Everyone around me, all my classmates, were skinny, fit, and healthy. But when you took one look at me, I was completely the opposite. I was fat, lazy, and undisciplined. And I hated myself for that. I thought to myself, why am I not like them? Why am I not like my classmates who are fit, attractive, and extremely confident? And that thought kind of made me feel so insecure and unloved and different from everyone. It made me feel like I was kind of unworthy to be alive. And these thoughts caused me to fall into a spiral of depression and negative thoughts. And it turned me into a traumatized, shy boy. Everywhere I went, they always asked me, "Hey, Yair, why are you always quiet? Why don't you always talk?" And I was told them, I was like, it's just me. I'm just tired. It's who I am. But in reality, I was just insecure and scared of my own self-image. It just felt like I was unworthy to live my own life as my own main character. I kind of felt like I was the bystander of someone else's life. My whole childhood was like that. I felt like I was watching other people win at girls, win at sports, win at school, win at everything. And me, I was just a fucking loser. And there was one moment in middle school where we had to run around the track for PE. If you don't know what PE is, it's pretty much physical education where you exercise and do sports at the end of the day. But this day, the whole entire class had to run the mile, including my own fat ass had to run this. And honestly, I wasn't really looking forward to it because I was the slowest out of the whole entire classroom. And while we were running, guess what happened to me? I got overlapped by everyone a total of 4 times. In total of 4 times, my classmates ran around me. They overlapped me while I was still on my first lap. And then they finished their mile within 6 or 9 minutes. And guess how long it took me to finish my own mile? It took me a total of 23 minutes. 23 minutes. My whole entire classroom was waiting on me to finish my lap because the teacher told everyone that absolutely everyone had to finish the mile before we can move on to play sports. And I remember I finished my lap and I saw the looks of everyone, kind of like in disgust. Like, oh yeah, this kid is gonna be a fucking loser when he grows up. Oh yeah, this kid is a fucking nobody. And I felt that. I felt like a complete loser. Even at home, I felt like a fucking loser. Despite having loving parents that loved me so much, I still felt like a loser. And I fell into so many bad habits like porn, video games, eating junk food all the time, that it made me feel even worse. Just seemed like nothing around me, anywhere where I went, to school, to work, not work, but school, home, or time with my friends. It just seemed like nothing helped me. Nothing seemed to work. It just felt like my life was just coming at an end, even before it started. But it wasn't until this one random night, I was watching a YouTube video about weight loss. And I remember watching this video and I became so motivated to actually do some push-ups. So what I did, I got on the ground and I tried to do a push-up. And guess what? I cannot do a fucking single push-up. And I tried again and again and again until I finally did it. I finally did a push-up. And this was something that I never thought I would ever accomplish. I thought I was gonna be a complete loser, a complete fat ass that could not even do a push-up. But right there, I did it. And this filled me up with a sense of motivation that I can do more. This energy that I can actually lose weight. And guess what I did? The next day, I went to the gym. And the next day, I went again. And the next day, again. And again, and again, and again, and again, and again. And then I fixed my diet, started eating more healthier, started eating salads and more chicken instead of this burger shit. And in a span of 4 months, I lost over 100 pounds. I reached my goal weight of 150 pounds. I went from 250 pounds to 150 pounds. And this was the greatest decision of my life. Getting into fitness, into weight loss, changed my life. It changed me as a person as well. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna ever stop doing fitness. I love it. Despite my own family, my own friends making fun of me for working out, I still love it. I still enjoy this sense of health and getting the pump. I just love it. And I want to do this for the rest of my life until I become a grandpa so I can show my grandkids how to work out, how to lift weights. How fucking beautiful would that be? So if you're struggling with obesity or any kind of depression, let me tell you this. There's hope. If I did it, then you can do it. And in today's video, I'm going to show you the same exact formula that I did to lose weight and overcome obesity. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to believe in yourself. You really never hear that, right? When you watch a weight loss video, no one tells you to believe in yourself. They tell you, they give you advice, and they tell you to click on their link, watch the course, and buy their course. They tell you to believe in them, that you can lose weight and overcome obesity through them by buying their course, but they never tell you that you can believe in yourself. I know belief sounds dumb and simple, but success isn't determined by the size of your intelligence or your talent, but is determined by the size of your thinking. When you think big, you create chances, opportunities, action, and results. And 95% of the whole population don't even think like this. They don't think that they can win. They have this loser mindset that they can't do anything. They just say to themselves like, oh, I'm too tired, I'm too lazy, I'm too old. When in reality, that's all bullshit, that's all excuses. It just seems like a disease that just infects everyone. But if you are going through this, making excuses, stop it right now. Stop making fucking excuses. I know it sounds easier said than done, but stop fucking doing it. You are not your thoughts. You have the ability to control your own thoughts. I know it sounds like you're being delusional, but you think about it. You think about Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Do you think they had negative thoughts when they're first starting? When they're first starting their businesses? Probably fucking not. They probably were delusional and they believe that they can do it. And look at them now. And you can be like them too. You just have to remove all those bad thoughts in your brain. Think your mind like a thought factory. A factory of thoughts. Which in this factory, you are the boss. And you have two employees. One is called Mr. Defeat and the other is called Mr. Triumph. And now you have the choice to fire these two, but you need to choose wisely. Now, Mr. Defeat is pessimistic, negative, and does not do his work. And Mr. Triumph is completely the opposite. He does his work, he's optimistic, he likes doing a job, and he does not slack at all. So what are you gonna do? You're obviously gonna fire Mr. Defeat, right? And you're gonna probably promote Mr. Triumph. So promote your own good thoughts and fire all the bad thoughts. You are what you think you are. So if you think yourself as someone that can lose weight, then you will become that someone that can lose weight. And that's exactly what I did when I was 13. I saw myself as a little boy that can lose weight. In a span of 4 months, I lost over 100 pounds. So if you want to do this, you have to upgrade your own self-image and act like the person who you want to become.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
And once you act like that person who you want to become, you're gonna become so much more confident in yourself. Confidence is the foundation of success. And you build that belief by always reminding yourself of your strengths and your past wins. And don't be a fucking retard and say to yourself that you never won, that you're a complete loser. No. Remember the times you actually won. Remember the times you did that push-up. Or the time you went up to the one girl. She rejected you, but you still went up to the one girl and talked to her. That's a fucking win. Every small win is a win. A win is a win. Now, the second thing that you need to do is to take action. Now, a lot of people remain fat and they don't lose weight because they're too afraid to take action. They're just afraid what other people will think about them. They're afraid when they go to the gym, people are just gonna judge them and look at them and just stare at them. But in reality, no one gives a shit about you. No one gives a shit about you and me. Everyone's too focused on themselves, on their own past, their own goals. Or they're probably more focused on that one chick at the gym with the tight leggings with the big ass booty. More than likely, they're not focused on you. So why should you care about the opinions of people who are just complete losers as well? Thinking about what others think of you is such a waste of potential and energy. So instead, focus on yourself. Focus on taking the action of beginning your weight loss journey, that is going to the gym or fixing your diet and eating a lot more healthier. Action is what kills your fear. Do what you fear and that fear will disappear. The more you wait, the more that fear will grow. The more you will be inside your head. The more you're gonna have these thoughts that, oh, should I go to the gym today? Should I go to the gym tomorrow? Should I go the next week? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not ready. And even if you're not ready, don't wait for the perfect conditions to start. You think that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they waited for the perfect conditions? They waited for the perfect office or the perfect business to come at them at their front doorstep? No. They probably started from their garage, their room. They probably started for something not that great. But throughout their whole journey, they made adjustments that ultimately allowed them to reach that goal, their big goal. So even the most successful people didn't even start with the most perfect conditions. So why should you? Start with being imperfect, because that's a beautiful part of it. Starting not perfect is beautiful. Think about it. When you're 20 years or 50 years down into your road, down into your journey, you're gonna look back and you're just gonna say to yourself, wow, man, I made it a long way. I'm so proud of myself. Look at me 20 years or 3 years before. I was just a dumbass. I was just a retard. But me, look at me now. I'm someone new. I'm someone different. So why not start today? Kill all the procrastination and build confidence and self-trust right here, right now, today. Now, the third thing that you need to work on is to be consistent. But here's the catch. Consistency is not what you probably think, or what most people probably think it is. Most people believe that consistency is a streak. Most people believe that going to the gym for 20 days in a row or being on no fat for 30 days in a row is consistency. When in reality, that's not the truth. That's not consistency. Consistency is value over time, which means how much of that habit have you done over a month, over 2 months, over 6 months, or in the span of 3 years? The old way of thinking about consistency is such a bullshit and toxic concept. It doesn't really make sense. Think about that. When you go to the gym for 5 days in a row, then miss out a day, do you end up losing that progress? No, fuck no. You don't go back to zero. You don't start over. You're still gonna have that muscle and all that progress. You don't all of a sudden become skinny out of nowhere. No, that's not consistency. Consistency is that you win 5 times a week during that period of time. That's what consistency is. That's a W. That's progress. And actually last week, I missed out on a workout. But according to that old way of thinking, this old way of streak thinking, I would have lost all my muscle. I'd have been skinny or even fat. In reality, that's not the truth. I've been going to the gym for 5 to 6 times a week for the past 2 years. And I have not lost any muscle, no progress. I actually made more progress right now since I've been missing out a little bit more and allow myself to rest more. But the thing is, over those 2 years, I didn't give up. To be consistent, you just need to not give up. Consistency is about starting to have it today and then still doing it when you're 60 or 70, when you're old fuck. And you might be asking, how do I be consistent when it comes to weight loss? And you do that by progressively overloading, meaning that you start out small and over time you increase your output. Let's say right now, you're starting to go to the gym, but you're weak and unfit, and all you can lift is 20 pounds on the dumbbell. But when you first start, you don't go directly to the 50 pounds, right? No, you don't go to the 50 pounds to start lifting and fail. No, you would tell yourself, oh, I need to go onto lower weights to first start off, and then build over time that strength so I can go lift the 50 weights, the 50-pound weights. No, I start small because why would I want to make this hard on myself? The same works with consistency. Don't make it hard on yourself. First start out with 2 days a week, and then over time, progressively overload to go into 4 days a week. And when you make that jump from 2 to 4, that is progress. That is progress in your consistency. So start from level 1, like in video games, and then level up your ability to go to level 5, to level 6, to level 7, to a point where you reach a level where you feel the most comfortable. Look, right now, you might want to get into a point where you're not obese anymore and you're fit. Well, let me tell you this, that might take 1 to 2 years. Overcoming obesity takes a long time. It takes a lot of patience. It's a big challenge. And I even experienced that, especially since we're all different. We all have different eating habits. We all have different genetics. And also, you're human, meaning that you will fail, that you will cheat on your diet, that you'll miss out a day on working out. But remember this. Remember what I taught you. Remember, believe in yourself, take the action, be consistent, and never give up. And once you believe that you never quit, I promise you, you will overcome obesity. The same way when I was 13 years old. He believed in himself and he never gave up, and he lost over 100 pounds. So you can do it as well. Thank you for being here, and I know you can do it.